They long to be close to you.
There are voices that sing, and then there are voices that reach inside your chest and hold your heart in their hands. Karen Carpenter had that kind of voice. Warm, pure, aching, and impossibly tender, she could turn the simplest lyric into something that felt like a confession, whispered just for you.
Many roads to choose.
She left us far too soon, but the songs she gave the world have never stopped playing. Today, we are counting down the 10 best Karen Carpenter songs, the ones that still make you close your eyes, take a breath, and remember what it felt like to truly feel something. Paul Williams and Roger Nichols wrote this song as a quiet declaration of emotional dependence, and Karen Carpenter turned it into something almost unbearably intimate. Where another singer might have delivered it with dramatic flair, Karen chose restraint. Her voice floats through the melody like a prayer, gentle and completely unguarded, as if she were admitting something she had never said out loud before.
When the smallest of dreams won't come true.
The song was released in 1972 and reached the Billboard Top 20, but its chart position never told the full story. This was the kind of song that lived in bedrooms and kitchens, playing softly on the radio while life happened around it. It was not trying to be a hit, it was trying to be honest. And Karen made every word feel like the truth. There is a vulnerability in this performance that goes beyond singing. She is not performing the song, she is living inside it.
It's the world has to give, but I won't last.
And if you have ever needed someone so deeply that the thought of being without them terrified you, this song already knows exactly how that feels. It is the quietest kind of love song, the kind that does not shout but simply refuses to let go.
Could it be that we go on hurting?
Originally recorded by Jimmy Clanton in the early 60s, Hurting Each Other found its true home when the Carpenters released their version in 1972. Karen transformed it from a simple pop tune into a devastating meditation on love that cannot stop causing pain. Her voice carries a sadness that feels personal, as if she had lived every word before she ever stepped into the studio. The song climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it is easy to understand why.
Could it be that we go on hurting?
Everyone has been trapped in that cycle, loving someone and hurting them at the same time, unable to stop either one. Karen understood that paradox in a way that most singers only pretend to. She did not dramatize the pain. She simply let it breathe, and that restraint made it hit 10 times harder. The arrangement builds around her voice like a gentle storm, strings rising and falling while Karen stays perfectly still at the center, steady and heartbroken and absolutely unforgettable. It is the kind of performance that reminds you why some voices can never be replaced. Do you remember who you were thinking of when you first heard this song?
Look at the two of us, strange.
Written for the 1970 film Lovers and Other Strangers, For All We Know won the Academy Award for Best Original Song that year, but it was the Carpenters' recording that turned it into something eternal. Karen's interpretation stripped away everything unnecessary and left only the raw beauty of two people standing at the beginning of something they cannot yet understand. The song reached number 3 on Billboard, and its message is as timely now as it was then.
For all we know.
Love is uncertain. The future is unknown. And all we really have is this moment, right here, right now. Karen sang those truths with a clarity that made you believe she understood them on a level most people never reach. There is no pretense in her delivery, no attempt to impress, just a woman, a melody, and a truth so simple it aches.
But I ain't marching anymore. No,
If you have ever held someone's hand without knowing what tomorrow would bring, this song was written for that exact moment. And Karen's voice makes that uncertainty sound not frightening but beautiful, as if not knowing is part of what makes love worth having.
There is wonder in most everything I see.
Not every Karen Carpenter song has to break your heart. Top of the World is pure, radiant joy, a song so bright and buoyant that it feels like opening the curtains on a perfect spring morning. Released as a single in 1973, it shot to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of the Carpenters' biggest worldwide hits. Richard Carpenter wrote it with John Bettis, and the lyrics are beautifully uncomplicated. Love has made everything wonderful, and Karen delivers that feeling with a smile you can hear in every note. Her voice is lighter here, playful almost, and yet it never loses that signature warmth that made her unlike anyone else. The song became so universally beloved that it was covered in dozens of languages around the world. But no version ever matched the original. Nobody could.
Almost put me at the top of the world.
Karen owned this song the moment she opened her mouth, and she made happiness sound as effortless as breathing. Sometimes the simplest songs are the hardest to sing well, and Karen made this one sound like the easiest thing in the world. It is impossible to feel sad while this song is playing, and that alone makes it a small miracle of pop music.
Time and time again, the chance for love has passed me by.
This is where the Carpenters proved they were far more than a soft pop duo. Goodbye to Love, released in 1972, is one of the most emotionally devastating ballads of the entire decade. Karen sings about a life without love, about accepting loneliness as a permanent companion, and every single word lands like a quiet blow to the chest. But the real surprise comes in the second half, when Tony Peluso's fuzz guitar solo tears through the arrangement like a scream. It was controversial at the time.
What lies in the future is a mystery.
Carpenter's fans were not expecting distortion and raw electric guitar in the middle of a ballad. Some radio stations refused to play it, but that solo is what makes the song extraordinary. It is the sound of all the pain Karen holds back in her vocal performance finally breaking free. The contrast between her composed, heartbreaking delivery and that explosive guitar is one of the most powerful moments in 70s pop music.
But for now, this is my song.
Goodbye to Love reached the Billboard Top 10 and opened doors that the Carpenters had never walked through before. It proved that tenderness and power could live in the same song, and that Karen Carpenter could carry both without breaking a sweat.
When they get to the part where he's breaking her heart.
Where the Carpenters proved they were far more than a soft pop duo. Goodbye to Love, released in 1972, is one of the most emotionally devastating ballads of the entire decade. Karen sings about a life without love, about accepting loneliness as a permanent companion, and every single word lands like a quiet blow to the chest. But the real surprise comes in the second half.
Really make me cry, just like
When Tony Peluso's fuzz guitar solo tears through the arrangement like a scream. It was controversial at the time. Carpenter's fans were not expecting distortion and raw electric guitar in the middle of a ballad. Some radio stations refused to play it, but that solo is what makes the song extraordinary.
looking back on how it was.
It is the sound of all the pain Karen holds back in her vocal performance finally breaking free. The contrast between her composed, heartbreaking delivery and that explosive guitar is one of the most powerful moments in 70s pop music. Goodbye to Love reached the Billboard Top 10 and opened doors that the Carpenters had never walked through before. It proved that tenderness and power could live in the same song, and that Karen Carpenter could carry both without breaking a sweat.
Nice to know somebody loves me.
Paul Williams and Roger Nichols delivered another masterpiece with Rainy Days and Mondays, a song about the kind of sadness that has no dramatic cause, just the quiet heaviness of ordinary days when nothing feels right. Karen Carpenter understood that feeling better than almost anyone, and her performance here is one of the most emotionally transparent recordings in pop history. Released in 1971, the song reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. It resonated with millions because it named something most people had felt but never been able to articulate.
Loves me. Funny, but it seems
Not tragedy, not heartbreak, just that low, gray ache that settles in for no reason and refuses to leave. Karen sings it without self-pity, without melodrama, with nothing but the honest weight of a heart that is simply tired. The arrangement is lush, but never overwhelming, giving her voice all the space it needs to do what it does best, which is to make you feel understood.
but it seems that it's the only thing to do.
Knowing what we know now about Karen's private struggles, this song takes on a depth that goes beyond its lyrics. She was not just singing about rainy days. She was singing about something far deeper, and the world was listening without fully understanding what she was trying to say. And maybe that is what makes it so powerful. The truth was hiding in plain sight all along, wrapped in a melody so gorgeous that we almost missed the pain underneath.
And I can hardly wait.
Written by Bonnie Bramlett and Leon Russell, Superstar tells the story of a young woman longing for a rock star who has moved on to the next city and the next girl. In the hands of a lesser singer, it could have been melodramatic. In the hands of Karen Carpenter, it became one of the most achingly beautiful recordings of the 1970s. Released in 1971, the song reached #2 on Billboard. Karen's voice is devastating here, soft and controlled on the surface, but trembling with loss underneath. She does not beg, she does not cry. She simply states her loneliness with such quiet dignity that it becomes unbearable. The orchestral arrangement swells around her like an ocean.
It's just the...
But Karen never raises her voice to compete with it. She does not need to. Every whisper cuts deeper than a scream ever could. There is a reason this song has been covered by everyone from Bette Midler to Sonic Youth, but no one has ever come close to Karen's version. She did not just sing Superstar. She became the woman in the song, and in doing so, she created something that transcends pop music entirely. It is 3 minutes of pure heartbreak, and it has not lost a single ounce of its power in more than 50 years. It started as a bank commercial. Paul Williams and Roger Nichols wrote a short jingle for Crocker National Bank, and Richard Carpenter heard something in those few bars that nobody else did. He saw a full song hiding inside a 30-second advertisement, and when Karen recorded it, she turned a banking jingle into one of the most beloved love songs of the 20th century. Released in 1970, We've Only Just Begun reached #2 on Billboard and became an instant wedding classic.
Learn to run.
The lyrics are about beginnings, about two people stepping into a future they cannot see but choosing to walk it together anyway. Karen sings it with a quiet confidence that makes the promise feel unbreakable. Her voice is warm, steady, and full of a tenderness that time has not diminished by a single degree. More than 50 years later, this song still plays at weddings around the world, and it still brings tears to the eyes of people who have heard it 1,000 times. That is not nostalgia, that is something deeper. That is the sound of a voice so pure and a melody so perfect that they have become permanently woven into the way we experience love itself. Every couple who has ever danced to this song at their wedding carries a little piece of Karen with them forever.
The angels got together and decided to create a dream.
Burt Bacharach and Hal David wrote this song years before the Carpenters ever touched it. Dusty Springfield recorded it. Dionne Warwick attempted it. Richard Chamberlain tried it. None of them could crack it. The song sat unfinished and unloved until Herb Alpert suggested it to the Carpenters, and everything changed. Released in 1970, They Long to Be Close to You went straight to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and stayed there for 4 weeks. It sold millions of copies and turned the Carpenters from a promising young duo into global superstars overnight. But the numbers are not what matter. What matters is Karen's voice. From the very first line, she transforms a quirky Bacharach melody into something celestial. The song asks why birds suddenly appear every time a certain person walks by, and Karen sings it as if she genuinely wants to know the answer. There is wonder in her voice, innocence, and a warmth so deep it feels like coming home. Richard's arrangement is brilliant, spare in the verses and lush in the choruses, giving Karen all the room she needs to work her magic. This is the song that introduced the world to Karen Carpenter, and more than 50 years later, it remains the definitive proof of what that voice could do. No one has ever sung it better. No one ever will. And deep down, everyone who has ever heard it knows that to be true. Some songs belong to their era. This one belongs to eternity. Karen Carpenter left this world on February 4th, 1983, at just 32 years old, but her voice has never aged, never faded, and never stopped reaching the hearts of anyone willing to listen. These 10 songs are not just music. They are pieces of a soul that gave everything it had to every single note. If one of them brought a tear to your eye or a memory to your heart, tell us in the comments which Karen Carpenter song means the most to you.